Hello everybody, this is Johnny S with another A6 blog. It's been some time, I do apologize to everybody. Lately I've been doing more Greek vlog videos, catching up on some subjects in general. In my channel I'll try to do both Greek and English vlogs, meaning that the Greek vlogs are sometimes a repeatance of some English subjects that I've done in the past. Hence why you might see that there might be more Greek videos. There might be not any current issue that I want to discuss in English, and because my channel's point, as I've mentioned previously many times, is not to become like a professional vlogger. You know, if there's no subject for me to make a vlog, I'm not going to make a vlog, as simple as that. Just to update everybody, for my friends that do not speak any English, of course there's many people in Greece that do speak it. Sorry, for those people that do not speak Greek, there's a lot of people in Greece which speak English, and it makes no difference to them whether I make my video in Greek or in English. But there is those cases where people do not speak Greek. So a little bit of an update. In general, everything has been going quite well with my bike. At the moment you see me not driving the R6, I'm driving the Kawasaki ER6N, which is my wife's bike, and that's because I've taken my bike to the mechanic and he's doing repairs on the back brake system. There was an issue with the brake caliper, the brake disc, sorry, and he's going to have a look at it in general, both the front brake and the back brake. We're going to change the back brake discs. My bike has around 57,000 kilometers, and the back disc has not been changed since factory, so the time has come for me to make that change. On another update, I've been getting a lot of I've been getting quite sick lately, which is making both my vlogging and my life in general, let's say, a little bit more difficult, but it's okie dokie, no problemo. That's about it. A little bit of a catch up for my, like I said, non-Greek speaking buddies out there. You haven't missed out on much. Whenever there's a new topic or a new issue, I'm going to make it in English first, and then I'm going to make it on the Greek. Why? Because not like that I favor or I have any kind of biases, but because this is what the initial thought of the channel was. So since I began like that, I'm going to stick to that. And if it's an important topic, let's say, I'm going to also make it in Greek. As simple as that. So in today's topic, it's a new topic which we have not done neither in Greek or in English, and I don't know exactly what I'm going to call it. My point is not to use a lot of trigger words for the algorithm and to get views. I really don't give a flying rat's ass. My point is to make videos. Some of the topics might be a little bit controversial, some of them are not, but my point is not to be controversial just for the sake of being controversial. But if you ask me what a general characterization of how today's topic is going to be, I will call it "Don't be a snowflake." I'm really sorry. I'm going to discuss something which is related to, you might call it a trend, not exactly a trend, but you know, you might call it a trend. It's a little bit more common lately. There's a lot of people, new generation kids, I don't know if you can call them Gen Z and Gen whatever, I've lost track of all these names and labels, I don't care. New generation kids that they're uploading a lot of TikToks and a lot of videos on YouTube and so forth, and they talk a lot about their jobs, how difficult their life is, what they have to go through, and so forth and so forth. Now, in general, to those people, I would like to advise them to, yes, please do stop being a snowflake. Don't be so sensitive. And this is not something for me to looking down upon them. This is not for me to say, you're fucking like this or you're fucking like that. No, it's just an advice for your own mental and psychological health. Try not to be a snowflake. Try not to be sensitive. Try not to whinge and cry and blame things that are not the way that you like, or this and that. Everybody has their own hardships, some less, some more. Some have less difficulties, some have more difficulties, and that also relates to the times, you know what I mean? In older times, in older days, you might want to call them, you know, things were a little bit more difficult. As time passes and we evolve as humans, technology evolves also, which makes our life easier in many things. In some of these cases though, there is a fine line between whinging, overly whinging, or overly expecting technology to take care of things for you. What do I mean by that? I'm of an older, let's say, generation. You might call me boomer or whatever. I'm 44 years old. I've got no problem sharing my age, and I'm kind of an older type of a thinking person, let's say. And in general, the older you are, usually the more hardships you have. I do see a lot of kids in nowadays where they somehow miss that fact, thinking that they have it worse than ever. It's the hardest it's ever been. It's like this, it's like that, and whatever. Which is not true. It's not true. To think yourself always that you have it as hard as can be is not a good mental state, and it's not going to help you on anything. There's always somebody that has it worse than what you have it, and that's something that I want to get across to everybody. This is something that I also learned as I grew up, you know what I mean? I used to complain, and my mom used to say something, oh, you don't like the food that I've made you. You know, there's kids in Africa that don't have food, period. And it's not a bad thing to do. You know, you can go overboard, fair enough. My point is not to say that, you know, you gotta overdo it. And like whatever sort of complaint you have is like, he has it worse, don't stop complaining. No, you can complain, you can express your dislike on some things, but to a certain extent. You don't need to go overboard. You don't need to make statements and assumptions such as, this is the worst it's ever been. Silly shit like that. You don't have to do that, you know what I mean? It's not the worst it's ever been. You're having a hard time. You've got the right to communicate that and make it known and share it with other people, because you might find other people going through the same experience, and sharing this experience with them might ease your pain, let's say. But there's always something that you need to keep in the back of your mind, that people do have it worse. There's always somebody else there that has it a little bit worse than you. That's always the case, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean that you're not allowed to complain, but it's how you complain and how you whinge and how much of that you do. So, in that sense, it's a little bit windy, I hope you can hear me. In that sense, I will make an example with my parents. When I used to go to school, I used to complain because the bus used to take 45 minutes to go to school. And I used to say to my dad, like, Dad, look at this, it's all this time I gotta wait on the bus stop and this and that and that. And my dad used to say, a long time ago, I used to go to school by foot, because in the village we didn't have transportation and so forth. That is a case with anything. And that does not mean that because my father said that, it's like, oh, okay, what do you want me to do? Get a fucking donkey or go by foot? He's not saying it for that. And if you take it in such a way, then you're not going to be able to get the point. When an older person tells you this, he's not telling it to be a show off. He's not saying this to you to belittle your problems. He's just saying it to you to put some things in perspective, get you to think of the possibility that long time ago it used to be much more worse. You know what I mean? He's only saying it in order for you to get you to think and understand in a specific way. That it did used to be worse, much worse, and that you have it much better. To be appreciative of what you have to a certain point, and not overly whinge and, you know, not overly whinge and be, you know, a shook, a snowflake, or whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? I'll say what I'll call it. I don't want to demean anyone. Similar with me, with my child. When my kid says, "Oh, Dad, this and this," I'll turn around and tell him, "Yeah, when I was young and your age, we didn't have that. We had this, we had that." Obviously, like I said, technology evolves, and it's going to make life of people easier. But you cannot be overly whinging to the point that you're not going to dedicate anything from your side in order for you to get something back. At some point, you got to realize, it's very windy today. At some point, you got to realize that you have to give something in order to take something. And if you do believe that, then you're not going to have the mentality of, "Oh, it's way too hard. Oh, I need to do this. Oh, I need to do that." Yeah, you got to fucking work. Stop whinging and get your ass working. Do you want to look for better circumstances and better sort of situations? Yes, by all means, do that. But in the meantime, do fucking work. Don't whinge about it. There's been a video which was also one of the triggering points and why I wanted to make this video, of a girl on TikTok recently. I don't remember her name, and I don't focus on this silly sort of details. Stupid people don't know how to fucking drive. And she started crying on TikTok. Some of them might be real, some of them might be fake, I don't care, but the point still remains the same. The image that he puts out there, whether it's true or not, I will take the possibility that it is true. And she was crying, she was saying, "I can't take this 9 to 5. I don't have enough time for me to go out party with my friends, do this, do that. I don't have time for that. I don't have time to go to the gym. I don't have time." And my response to her, and not my response, many people's response to that is, yeah, duh. Yeah, obviously. Obviously, if you have a 9 to 5 work, if you're working as such, because of whatever the circumstance might be. It might be a temporary circumstance. You might be able to find a better workout later. You might be able to find a remote job. Yeah, by no means am I saying don't look for it, don't strive for something better, but stop whinging in the meantime until you find that. Because it might be a long time. You might be there for 2-3 years. What are you going to do? Cry every day and upload TikToks? For the fucking love of God. You know what I mean? In the case that it's real and it's not just for clout. Anyway, I just wanted to say that to everyone. 9 to 5 job, yeah, okay. It takes you 40 minutes to go to work and 40 minutes to come back. And you get home at 6 o'clock. Okay, everybody's like that. And that's the good case. That's the case that your employee does allow you to clock in and out on a typical rate of 9 to 5. There's circumstances and there's a lot of jobs that are more demanding that you stay overtime. What are you going to do then? Complain more? Complaining is not a solution. Okay. And like I said, you know what I mean, things are getting better as time passes. Fair enough. But there will never be to a stage where you will not have to work. The way that you're going to work might change, it might differ, and it might be a little bit better in some circumstances, but it's not going to get you know, dissolved, period. You have to put in something, and that's just a law of nature. You will never be able to undo that. For every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. In order for you to take something, you have to put something in. You have to input something to output something. There's no way you can escape that reality, because that is reality. Now, how much effort are you going to put in? And, you know, are we talking about nowadays or a long time ago? It depends. So a piece of advice, I don't want to go off board, and I don't want to make this video, you know, the point of me just cursing and you fucking snowflakes. No. Just to all those people understand that what you're going through is is nothing compared to something else. It is expectable. Others have a harder. It might be also temporary, as you're striving for something to get better. And don't allow any one of these circumstances, no matter how hard or how difficult it is, to put you down to the point that you start crying and whinging. Anyway, that's it guys for me. I do thank everybody for your time. I hope you enjoyed both the message and the way that the message was passed through. I would like to bid everybody a good night, as it's afternoon time here in Greece. I hope you have a great awesome night, and we'll talk soon. Goodbye.